Yes, the pieces of body which has been retrieved from forest and elsewhere from different parts of Delhi, as per the statement of Aftab. So this very simple question is, what exactly we do with these pieces of bones or the tissues, so-called tissues, which has been retrieved? See, one thing I would like to state is, the soft tissues like the muscles, the fats, the ligaments can never be found after 5 to 6 months if it has been put in open places like this. Because either it will get decomposed or disseminated or liquefied by the natural process of decomposition, or else it will be eaten away by the canine animals like dogs or maybe some vultures or birds. They will eat away those soft tissues. But what will be left over is only the bones. But now the question is, what we'll do with the bones? See, there are a lot of conclusion as an expert we can draw by just examination of a piece of bones. First is, we'll just see how many pieces of bones and belong to which part of the body. Is it a human bone or an animal bone? That's what we first differentiate. And then comes that it belongs to one individual or more individual. Because all the bones which are retrieved from different parts of the Delhi may not belong to Shradda only. It may be animal bones or may not be bone itself. So that differentiation is very important, and once we confirm, yes, indeed this is a human bone and it belongs to one individual, then the identity can be established by taking the DNA samples, that is from the bone in the marrow. The bone nucleated cells are there, bone marrow cells. From that the DNA can be extracted, and that DNA will be compared by the father's DNA taken from his blood sample. And then the confirmation can be done that these particular bones belong to Shradda. So how many out of so many pieces of bones retrieved from the investigating officer, how much of those pieces belong to Shradda? So that can be concluded. Beside this, the contents of the bones, which gives us a clue that which type of weapon is used. Is it a saw, or is it an electric saw, manual saw, or is it a knife or a machete or an axe? So that can be easily concluded by examination of the contents of the bone. That we call it as manner of suppression. Beside this, the contents of the bones also indicate that is this particular mutilation happened when she was alive or after her death. That is antemortem and postmortem mutilation or cutting of the bones. So that also can be inferred. Above all these things, for example, if the skull or any spine or cervical spine, that means the vertebra of the neck or the body or any part of the hip bone or any long bones, if we find apart from these manner of suppression ends, cut ends, if we find any other injury which suggestive of fracture or any injury which is suggestive due to a sharp force like a machete or a knife or a axe, if for example if skull has been broken, that clearly indicates, and if it is antemortem in nature, that it is when she was alive that was broken, that clearly will reflect that she was killed by the sharp weapon or a blunt weapon. So all these things, that is, we can find the cause of death, the manner of suppression, and also the times is that when exactly the death took place. That also can be inferred just by the weight of the state of the bone. So we call it as a greasy, semi-greasy, non-greasy, or entirely dry bone or brittle bone. Based on this, we can give an approximate age in a few weeks where that particular crime has happened. So all these things are the conclusions which we draw just by examination of the pieces of bones which has been retrieved from the secondary crime scene where the disposal has taken place. Thank you.